Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Dialogue with the Youth show on Gunjur Online Platform TV. You are once again with your presenter, Ibrahim Janneh. It's Wednesday on the 7th of October, 2020. At the time in Leeds in the United Kingdom is 19:00 p.m. The time in the Gambia should be about 16:00 p.m. and Eastern Time in America is 14:00 p.m. Today, our topic is mental health, youth, and substance abuse. And I have two guests to discuss this issue that is ravaging in our country and creating a lot of problems. I have Mr. Lamin Bittaye with me, and also I'm expecting to have Salifu Manneh, all of which are mental health experts. Salifu hopefully will be here very soon with us, but Lamin is here. Lamin has been working in mental health department for over 10 years as a mental health assistant. Now he's a full-fledged mental health nurse after doing his degree in mental health in York University. He's been working in myriads of mental health institutions in the United Kingdom. And I think he did his research in the Gambia at Tanka Psychiatric Hospital in the Gambia. Welcome to you to Dialogue with the Youth. So, Mr. Bittaye.
Thank you, Mr. Ebrima Janneh. Just as Ebrima Janneh said, my name is Lamin Bittaye. I'm from the Gambia, from a village called Tujerem Village. I came to the UK initially just as many of the young youths back in the days to pursue my career in education. So when I came here, initially I started with accounting. And then, saw that was in the way for me. And then I decided to, I've stopped going to follow my education career for some time. And then decided to work for a bit because time wasn't visible at the time. And then, but here again, I never forgot to pursue my education career. And then finally, I went into nursing, into mental health. I initially started as a healthcare assistant working in a medium secure forensic psychiatric hospital as a healthcare assistant. And then from there, after 3 years, then I decided to pursue my nursing career. But just as we know, when you come over, it's hard sometimes. And then, so the first year I started, I applied for my nursing course at the University of York, on 2 occasions, 2 consecutive years. I didn't manage to get in. So, but persistent-wise, I persist. And then in the 3rd year, I finally got in. So I've been a healthcare assistant for the first 3 years. And then after the first 3 years, I decided to follow my, a nursing career. I did my training at York University. And then, but at the same time, I was working part-time as a healthcare assistant. And then after 4 years, I graduated from York University with my bachelor's honors degree in mental health nursing. And then since then, I've been working as a mental health nurse in different settings, but I mainly focused on forensics, medium forensic psychiatric hospital. That's where I work.
All right, thank you so much, Lamin. I'm still waiting for Mr. Manneh. Hopefully, I think he's struggling with his connections or whatever. Oh, Mr. Manneh is here with us. Mr. Manneh, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you all along, but I don't know. So I left my laptop, so join. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, brilliant! We're pleasure to see you anyway. So, and
Yeah.
anyway, there's little we can. Mr. Manneh was here on the platform, but for the new viewers, Mr. Manneh is a senior mental health laws, and now he is doing his PhD in mental health, his doctorate degree. He was working in myriad and different institutions in mental health in United Kingdom. He's in Leeds. Also, he's the managing director of Mobe. Mobe is a mental health charity in the Gambia. Mr. Manneh, you can quickly say hi to our people, and after we'll introduce the show in Mandinka for other viewers, especially Gambian viewers.
Oh,
Welcome,
okay, well,
Mr.
thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Ebrima. Thank you very much, Lamin. And thank you very much for those behind the scene making this program happen. I'm very happy to be back here again and to share my ideas and knowledge with people listening and watching us all over the world. So thank you for having me back.
Thank you, Mr. Manneh. Thank you, Mr. Bittaye. Mbadi ngoli jannim bitala mbe mbali bisimilala no program oto ndim funding ke luka program o min soto kacha min ya lonko be na banko ka mi funding ke di I affect and kawoke gunjur online TV la platform oto and la badi malamu memo Ibrahim Scatrel Janet mo jama ka fonye ibi konga fo ñamin bimu araboleti karo tiri warawla United Kingdom o Angleterre o England tolla time o be tala warawla ma fangolla Gambia ngamira time o be tara talan sey tala woro ma fangolla sore en ngamira America salfana wato talan fula ma fangolla time o be tara wallet bimbe be diamo na fanna min kacala bi wolo mu fondin kelu min ya lonko ka sonde me courant soto bari anin ka wosoto nyami mostly ka fengol mimma ma fengol mbe ko kacala mbe futala wolto bari mbe nimmini be wol kacala janga salif mane soto salif abota sukutale originally bari abe sire Angleterre Leeds defana fahamu ba soto nyin fondinkel nyu sonno mamangol la kuola ni wobota je fananga Lamin soto mfango doma mi ya lonko fananka do ko ke mol mi ya lonko sonde ma courant soto ani golle ka do ko ke bake ama mi abota la degree soto York University abe siri York le fananga ni bi the mental health do ko la wala min fanan kuma ya ta ya la kisi ro pour nyin ko bira ba karan wala ya ke Gambia ya ke na tanka le Gambia so mbali be bisimla na program oto mba fulale ko albisimla dialogue with the youth. So okay, I will start with Lamin. Mbe akumasila with Lamin after en mol kontong be puria contextualize bao you were in tanka for few months anyway pribela research kanje after yela experience share with us yemine land we bribije and then say lesson the land no proof on nickel salon mimbe tanka wo yalo tanka jennim bitala wala mun ni nyama toli nimmo de sonde be mamma woni soto in the Gambia ke samba wala ton safo ko min sonde bo courant soto ila lopitano mu jelet even though I'm aware about because now the capacity only 100 people that war institution like tanka 2009 Gambia Sadal in a way, I'm sorry to say that anyway. Mabudu Dutch Holland la NGO a charity organization dole alo Gambia in 2009 because Janning remember Janning tanka na kampamale bijemi along hamra be banjul ma fawon so bari nyin kuta mai ka vole tanka so Lamin do ko yes Mr. Bittaye can you help us pre contextualize what your experience is, what is the infrastructure issues there Janning bitala to Mr. Manneh
tanka yes because I don't know mental health institution to me along Kabe Gambia. And then like capacity is like 100 people. That's the maximum capacity you come in that. And so menanata mental health la fongola karola Gambia more experience sort of back, because near kampamaji be womudulan dinnet, so ni nata nan tanka. I mean, it's like Gambia and Talajeroto is a learning step for us. Plus nata now even like mental health la fenkola, minli alonko they qualified in mental health adango do yatale, Amira the first batch in wale jita nung American University, So that was the first batch ndala tanunje wale jita nunje iwe do wala jeta. So to hela do kulal ba kata kanne because ni ajibe fana well imam mental health long beyond the Gambia. Coming ka for coming ya jedula dole to mi ya long ko isa ko okay nganyun la tanyata. So itol fana ba karan kanne. Do ngodo kulal men taraje, ibakata kanne ila experience ning is still low, but be kato ke kanne. So now another improvement on our side, we have a long way to go, because ita ninjang compare la, nkai imankelem fango. It's more like coming jambe damino 50 years back. But near jam fanan jibe, if I move the through stages la, and then it's always a learning curve. So if develop can Gambia fanandal. So nana nang patient care and how to look after the patients. It's a learning curve for them. So because nana nang Gambia ni ajibe hani doctoral fango Jamal ning Cuban doctoral nte wolle taranunje, wo fanga man so do fami ya lon ka abe besri nun tanga jela fango akata an abe taranum polyclinic le then I des also rakana nan tanga. So we have a long way to go, but iba kata kanne iba karang kanne fana. So with time maybe a chance still and then we see. So ndela jero to na training jam fana ka link dal comme minuli alon ko be outside, your link soto, so ni mol tata je fana, they go and then they can give support. So ngamero wo fana be mako la bakela, then we can learn from each other.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much, Lamin. While you were there, the inmates what is the main cause, for the mental health within the 100 people many along the itela mira roto ila jeroto ila korosi roto.
Yeah, until Korosi wrote on Data Nunje, a person also from like different backgrounds, but mainly fana, a youth soul sort of jele. Youth jama bije, many fanga alonko, this is like due to substance misuse. Either nyam sabolo nyam bor kese mingol teng, bepare wolfana ning dola mingo jahase. So you qualify as like substance misuse. So in that je use jamata jele min ya lonko nyamata bije, though ye kebal sort of jele ye musol sort of je fana, but the higher percentage woman use solar site, so and then most of the time if an kajalo like they're just substance abusers.
Yeah, that's fine, and that's very, very good, and to give us the insight of Tanka. Anyway, Mr. Manneh, the last time I was checking, I think in policies and strategy wise, I think in 1964, the suspected mental whatever lunatic act,
lunatic act. Yes.
Yeah, lunatic acts. Yeah, covered in 1964. It was about 1947, 1964. Since then, there is no policy ratified on mental health. I think in 2006 we have a mental health policies and strategic action plan. Draft, but it never been ratified. Even with a lot of exposures and all those things, because honeybee Gambia the series or procession of government mental health muta anything serious, because model data to room in about formula begin and don't be aware. I don't think we should go through those steps, from one step to the other. Quite that that will take years and years. But monunto people are more about experience can discover mental health and other health Kenyan. Borneo nearly about 27,000 people. That's about 3% of our populations are, sort of the mental health sufferers. Only, they're suffering from severe mental health disorders, and you have here nearly 91,000, nearly 10%. You estimate from because real figures today they can be about mental health. That tells how we are with mental health. I can
Nyimfa kabiri in 2004 dika min code
in 2004 and 2007 the latest one do you think government are really serious can you address in the first place citing demographic time bomb let me happen in the Gambia and everybody is silent about it while dealing with the different mental health institutions in the Gambia. You mean experience from these people, concerning mental health.
Yo, abaraka bake Ebrima, abaraka bake lamurlal be, ani jibirlal be. Obviously, mental health, concern balum dunia fango bekon. Kabiri UN, body ba ye mirala bi. Doku la ba, minka doku di molakai. Ibe mental health issues ya kela policyl konon. Bari ndola ko Ebrima mi na ko a frustration o warandi wolom nyindi ko niaje a subject like mental health more matter seriously niaje a subject like mental health stigma is all over the place in the Gambia mansakunda le matter seriously pruka mental health promote up to the level men deserve ibada nyim figures min code contenting yalon ka fe ko womu from a situation analysis that happened in 2004. Yo, iko 27,000 more men for binio neo lafa bin ibala falal by maybe 3 or 5 times the number mimbije. And yaron dobije numbers bika be for behind the numbers a lot of things like katara kekanye. But when it comes to policy documents though, the Gambia mental health policy sort you will ratify in 2007. Then the Gambia Lunatic Detention Act 1964 will start in 47. I review in 1964, but I thought among review at all up to 2017, 18, 19. So, in fact, a lot of energy and work went into it. Yeah, table mansakundala sakul in terms of converting it into an act of parliament before it becomes a government legislative document. So, about tembled. But the other thing, Fanang, is overall healthcare budget, mental health and health in general. Mental health was there was a time less than 1%. And 1%, it doesn't mean in real terms of money that gets invested into mental health. Yeah, so tokenistic really budget nimbala. So womu kudol yo andunia jibe overall 3/4 of common mental health problems abeko kumasi mola funding care before age 25. Yeah, West Coast region, Ndola West Coast region, Neoning Canifing combined. It only new other regions will be booty in terms of numbers. Many alonko they are experiencing mental health problems, and the same thing goes to neither schools or Fernando. Recently, UN doc in consultation with Mr. Sonko. Mr. Sonko is the manager mental health services in the Gambia. Very hardworking man. Doko Nimbe Gambia. Recently, I think yes, as recent as 2019, ye survey dole conduct high school ol nyento kajibe, secondary and high schools also wo age group kajibe dindin jellum either using illicit drugs or are exposed, to areas and facilities many along with drug encourage amongst young people. So a call for tambita sialale ni IOM, International Organization for Migration, near Gambia report jibe between 2014 and 2018 35,000 youngsters wole Gambia bula kata bantala bankul kanjenen drone. So me ako be critical. It's critical because Gambia banko banko fon like a funding kale by banko kan. Because they after funding kale to banko kan, they have to be inclusive in everything that banko be main keka. But near marginalize here exclude drone, a kind of situation they create where youngsters become bored, among skills or among certain levels of education or the chances of them getting jobs. I mean, youth unemployment in the Gambia around 2015-16 was 30%.
Yeah.
So Nintola youth under 25, one of 60% of the population, but 50% be mantra do kola. Yamromo Kairold.
No.
So this is why it's a combination of factors. Mse factors all kacha anumbe kachala ko tekembe tule kachala pour moli moy ya understand membe caring. But what danjam follow maybe a next question to do. Mse move on to other areas.
Yes, Lamin, the single biggest risk factor to mental health is the rampant use of the drugs, especially cannabis and all those things. Do you think there is enough awareness, around the use of cannabis and the consequence that cannabis can cause, the using cannabis can cause, because there might be didn't will need to do that. There's nothing. There is almost no awareness program, or very, very minimal, pro mental health fenko to more long nyintai wole ni fenko ke might be funding kill can you muta fairly ka muta fason neti maybe nala you need to do it and all those things, might be, because of their frustration concerning in terms of documents and all those things. But can you just talk about, the dangers, putting in drugs or can abuse, so that funding kill at least is a thing twice. Consequence coming from. Can you talk to us about that, please?
Yeah, not like substance abuse law, because because near from teenage age, most of them starts like from teenage age, because kamuda coming like kambani arangolam, you with your friends, you have nothing to do, so Jama Fanam BJ like coming, you lose the hope la, and then they started using this without having much knowledge about it. So ni natana okay, let's start from like nyama saboteng, which is rampant there, and then but affecting malong. So Jamal BJ found even like tanka ni tata you start talking to them about like smoking weed and stuff. No bafole ko no nyamo abete atale, nying imaja fango ye borol bondala tuabole ajala nying kanyung kurane jara kanyung kurane jara. But like work out and dealer coming like it all man knowledge so into at all. So coming it left a million na, what they feel good about it all color base world, but a negative side fanang, ibika parela jela moela. This is the issue. Iman je find out, but nini start taka diamu ko foe if I can realize like tonya long I do have this experience. Yeah, none other things like paranoia. So aka paranoia costly, aka anxiety costly, so and the other thing is like impulsive control which you lack, how to respond. Most of the hakil maya la thing anila judgment o thing, so na maribe sobering thing, asela mo I think it, but natara coming about hiring, pra from control thing akane jabi kumo dole thing aka kolea bulle. Yeah, so these are the issues, especially now not like paranoia. And then the other thing for me, Jamola Fenko Fana, it causes memory loss. So mostly like short-term memory loss. But constant abuse of it, you know, and how regularly you smoke it, and then from what age you smoke it, you know, it have big impact on your memory. You know, so ikaje Jamal fanam bije kome manjel de, but ni si te ni kajata te, ya tandila kome ha aka paranoia koslo, because ni fenketa kafo kante aka koleale. You know, so ika para, so ikaje wala na Jamal fanam bije tem fana, you see this effect, mi ya lonko, ike found isolate letting. You know, ni ajibe ni data mostly thing come like kafoto thing, you know, let's say kuli program or so, it better gathering on the one side lefana. You know, it become mix wo nyama bakete. You know, but Neo explain it all for it like it all for like zero bigger or why they do that. Because your confidence in kafta mix more kono ako affect le. Yeah, so like you kind of for if keep aside thing, you know. So what anxiety ako delay. You know, paranoia. Ni
Yes.
nata nam fanang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Ni nata nam fanang come like ila memory loss then coming ka fanya maintain, you know, short term memory loss. If all kajel. Ni fenkere then ika ko atena tu da katunyi nolla. You know. So they admit that, you know, ika na tu da katunyi nolla one day, you know, akungo bet wo kungo tinyantele. Yeah. So yeah, ikaje ikatara nyina la fending wala ani ela chabo and jam you know, you come back and then looking for it. You know, those are effects. And then like things like that, you know, they have to admit that. Inyanta will understand Nigeria, you know, it causes that. You know, and then near start from a young age, under 20, you know, so it causes like long-term, you know, mental impairment because niba young thing at your adolescent age, ikaje ko ila brain is still developing. Yeah, so akanao impairment ning costly, you know. So what I know mostly ikaja coming in substance misuse thing, didn't know you start from certain age. By the time we came bala, well at nekaja, you know, Jamal kana mental health problem also to je. You know, so ni nata nang itola fen ko to je, itol kaji be nyame ninga nyamo saba yes. You know, like ika relax le. Yes, you enjoy music more. Those are advantages. Nda coming ke fanang ake konkondile. You have munchies. You know, so ibajala nyawule nyimfanante, you know, niasawete, you know, nyakatara wule rinte, minko cause, you know, dilation of ila blood vessels ni, nyamo nyinko cause le fana. You know, and then the other thing fana is like coming like ila heart rate ni, ako fana increase le. Yeah, ni niasawete fana ila lungs fana aka irritate le. You know, ila inner linings of the lungs aka irritate wala neka toto ten. You know, coming near CCO sabaten dol take a toto ten, you know. So ni natana yala good side of fenka coming near music la more, you know, you relax, you tend to kind of enjoy music more. You know, you have like the munchies. Yeah, dol buffalo you coming painkiller lente. You know, no nyamo betiata, you know, akanyin sala jarate. But those are medical. They control it. And things like let's say paracetamol, you know, limit lebije kamin tano. You know, near at a certain level, like it's like overdose. You can kill yourself with it, which is quick. You know, so these are things coming useful. They need educating about it. Yalong koku nibe dunaje na tara coming yalong ibe dunka minkono. Wala manage ka official.
Exactly.
You know, but me yalong ko, you know, you don't have a clue about it. You know, so ite jandi bita ku kalam tala akatara ye nambara.
Yeah, that's true, Lamin. I think in Yemenfor we need a lot of education. But Tonya, you know, no matter being that around this now, the box stop with our leadership. That's the president and the government of the Gambia, because no country can go ahead, you know, with your youth in this situation. It might recognize because near Mr. Manneh, the even transportation also for the community mental health team. Me along is a small team. Me along in Sapo, one room the Malady integrate into Edwards Francis small hospital with only one room. Because of lack of capacity and finance and everything, even they are dedicated people, they want to help, you know, near 8 o'clock by 2 o'clock, you close the way. You know, so that tells us about the government priority. Well, na youth so nyanti found la symbol because anybody, you know, nimbe dindiari probably for some reason might be, you know, for the because of the intervention of providence, they want might be probably better because what long, you know, because WJ can hold this call to Mama Naila Nyabo and all those things you think is a lie. Me along you just went there.
Yeah.
So Sal, you know, I think, you know, we have to go back to our government. Molmi ya lonko. Yemin for, you know, I come in the market, well, subvention to put tanka keep going. Often I'm found it all because VSO, WHO, Tanka Foundation, and in diaspora organizations, well, like a Pujama Beke Moli. So they don't care about mental health. You know, they don't care about you. That's the fact. Because of all these underlying issues, me along baby caring. Because I name and call also a little bit like campaigning and all those. You can do those things and that can save life. But mental health is an avoidable cause of unnecessary suffering to the families, to the people, to the youths, and to the country. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, go ahead. Dialogue on the failures of the government and the leadership, you know, plays out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Ebrima Abarakabake. I'm glad you points all mentioned. Mr. Bittaye, Mr. Bittaye, Fanambodan could me explain. They are well abundantly clear. You know, wolum quality minibe mental mental well-being. Woleba a compromise can. You, Mr. Bittaye called me for around, you know, biological causes, you know, and in biological ramifications, nika nyimfengol saba. Yaji nyimfengol sabo, cannabis use, for example, in the Gambia. Abe Gambia kabering maybe 60, 70 years ago, minta bidawal. But then what time mulka cannabis me use was homegrown. Yeah. What time foreign cannabis makes or banco infiltrate. So we had people in the Gambia, many along cannabis sabale for 40, 60 years among Kukela. But the kind of cannabis mimbe market to signing, and you know, kafodo is skunk. You know,
that's right.
That there's a very strong link between using skunk and in psychosis develop. So what is not very clear in the Gambia, for more underlying psychosis totally before a skunk sababa. So kabiri a skunk sabale wo psychosis fintitaba. For an underlying psychosis sort at all, kabiri a skunk sabale drone, you know, a psychosis sort. So what a very big piece of reality, maybe young people like Mr. Bittaye say research conduct no mean to promolia understand fully. Muneka funding kelu, you know, muneka sondome kuranga dealer at a level nenema minje before, because I waratale, you know, and we don't have you know, a statistics, for example, a survey hapunta BBB. Okay, ni bota wo fananto ni ajibe the Gambia Tobacco Act 2016. Wo mudwale te min fundita na puruka even cigarette smoking ka atala bankoka. But it did the opposite thing, really. And Sabu Fana, tobacco, even in developed countries, you know, could create economy. So in a small country like the Gambia, Nikwe Molbe Fonyandi Sika Sabola, Ebajal Fadul Fans front. Multa understand why it be promotion cake and co. Ali Fonyo Sika Sabol. Anunia Sika Sabo Fananje, lung cancer, Jama. Sikalaka Odimo.
Yes.
Yo kidney liver problem jama fanam bije nika dolomi repeatedly for many years abe liver issue dealer. So drugs ma near drug ma akadi immediate euphoria min dila kontano jiko ko ite bio kai ani kulintila fa wisa bondinole. It's wrong because na bote bara drunk depression is setting, you know. And there's a link between substance misuse is and in depression. And depression fanayala sifas you can go, you can have you know, ordinary depression, it a moderate depression, it a severe depression fanam se convert into, you know, suicidal ideation and in suicide. So what an akumayata bakelen tulu a very good solid systematic mental health promotion sort of in the Gambia. abe fondike jamale balindila nyin dolonin tay sabol. So ntol do ko min ben kan really instead of treatment nyanta mental health promotion nyanta wala focus la nga dum community be kono school olto college olto university olto kamol karandi pour ila londo ni londo soto nyimborol mala no sela londo la fay kay tandila bi mimbe kere yo ni tata ni boda fenko to nyin tobacco control act 2016 ni ajibe anomu generally speaking de fonti dunia fa be kono fendantan wala kama baake dunia kono cannabis lom amphetamines ecstasy anin cocaine wol jama bale kama dunia ma fan jama kono anin tol fon la UK jang just 3 days ago there was a story which happened in Newcastle for student fulalom anin kending killing amede be fada as a result of amphetamine le use but maybe amphetamine anin fendole be jahasiring mamilong some drugs are dirty wolom problem of found for nikel ka for me a bor keso some drugs are mixed with certain things it ma mililong because it ma mix in later alone so ni ko kanyimi wa for tenting amphetamine lom ita ka sanne ko amphetamine lom but a possible ta kabiri bo amphetamine dadala ya ala fendol bije properties dol bije you will lafale over and above normally ordinary amphetamine aka jararo kenyami so niteo madrong ila dunia be dundinyor anu do bije nyin drugs dol bije ila central nervous system immediately akole arrest yefa aka nyin sisos di modul la immediately yefa so drug and alcohol ala masibo warabatale because mun bo sabu ndolla bankola jiko mu funding kerlet ninko 60% of na bankola funding kelu ibebe under 25 andung drug and alcohol jama mulka male before age 11 13 and near mental health issue je ke bala mimbe 49 kata 64 there is always a good chance ko in the past kabla be ages nyol ma famola I double tally with alcohol and drugs yaja so do bije ala bata be kam funding ke batandi fona funding ke ya bang adunta alfa ya kono fa fanan sita suti ya wotola kana batandina so this is why ntolinga an effective a responsive mental health promotion service sort in the Gambia abena funding ke jamal le balindila fenkola ka double into drugs yo ni boto fananto yana fenko there is an international association me along are responsible to funding care la mental well-being and specifically looking into the relationship between funding care tinya another link with illicit drugs and alcohol mu drug leti because aka ne alcohol ming ake ila control aka bela bondi bul kodi e ga tare fa bul e ma ni moli alcohol ming e ko ke moto borindol la e moto borindi accident back cause because ni alcohol ming aka nganya do dundi kono e ka fo mo be ko nte biwo kay nte fa sen dampango yele no le nga fly ni I tried wrong ye boy kabo bunjamo to ye fa that kind of ideas so say mental health promotion will set nole in place mimbe will fenkela mimbe will tala global fanan because 75% of adults with mental health disorders ala onset aka ke kabiri be dindi yala between up to ages 24 75% so man ke number dintede global mental health care facilities for the more fail can including total so ni focus the Gambia no focus West Africa nga jibe mental health abe funding ke ni la mental health pour me compromise as battle anything me alonko as a a mitigating factor what because sotoje I went to a meeting in Ghana for ECOWAS for West African states kajibe now funding kelo ila mobility kabosa bankudoto ita bankudoto ndol ka mental health problems so in between ila migration yalo ni botela bankudoto ita da bankudoto drone abemu mental health issues leti and in challenges me bekana so near drugs and alcohol use to cope with those challenges drone you're digging a very very sort of difficult sort of livelihood for yourself So this is why a very effective mental health promotion instrument would be very, very good for Banco Mimbo Controller Banco. And any funding men can move within West Africa. ECOWAS mental health policies also any WAHO, West African Health Organization. Many along they are looking after funding mental health in different regions.
Yeah, thank you, Sal. I think awareness important about Babakele. I think the government need to proactive society is awareness create so that is is a demand from the government because government kabaluning dolmu be la symbol Mazakunda mokili nekana president umbenga na sembo chikanga diala, including our resources, our energy, our talents, puraya utilized into some of the issues many along can affect. So be near the Nimang Taraki can community baby daring, mol me alonko, I will come to Lamin sign, Bao Tanka, Nyama told me uncle before Yari, mol me alonko the silo, Niji Naji, Yahweh Nila Bolo, in Ajan Nila Safuno, in Ajan Nila Yena. Is so unbelievable, really speaking, but near GB, why can they even integrate mental health service, primary health care, primary health care level, at least, but government don't care. So some of the barometers, me along with government sold assess are they doing these things? Because even for them came in back asleep in the life continue attending. Because we are so unaware about mental health issue. Nyamato and all those things. I remember when I was in the Gambia walking, Nyamato nada fukandolo for me no not an old black na mall, mo killing the command in a caretaker one out of them pump katulo boom kafenke G. And when I came one year, I even talked to him, I abad on London for me to be Kundura, when you didn't kind of Kundura, when you about a motor, don't have fire, when you Dumbadi will be often and all those things. So he can even understand the tools and all those things. So imagine, Dolma understand so much so that Nila motor is a Borini, if you call it all, Mobe Busandila Silo can didn't be Borini Yamatoya, because of, we don't even. It's not into us because we're not even thinking about this. But at the end of the day, government na do community, so society elements or I will intervene, I will address. Nime address. We cannot just close our eyes. Need support work and Lamin, we have all statistics, but we are about 6 to 8 people in every 100. One was 2004, 2006 probably.
KMC and West Coast.
KMC and Combo North are all be drug addicted. But there is no special institution for drug addict. More no matter mental health sifanya So very I know the staffs are doing their best and all that, but we want to have the picture so that more are understanding how are those people, big a mix of Musud, Kambani, many sarcosis, minimum strikers, minimum kudolity, ye beta, ye bula wokono. And those specialists, Mantaraji, Purga Wolbega, mostly, mental health nurses or under, all like Kataraji taking care of those. How is the environment?
Environment, it's like just chaotic. You say like chaotic. It's more like, you're more jurumolta, ye be juruma killing people with different conditions. So it will be juruma jente from for call from be treat with the same treatment, it just baffled me. But nkajalo ko ye ñun la jankan do ko abugalo ko xamé like ni tata draw ye la ñoo sari ñamo ko no draw ko pour wo ñoy falling. That's how. So in comparison to jang atara do yela ñofebe binde and all that. So with yela musol la wing total temi yalon ko line house o ten comme musol ba damento then tel boy jurmari ñokante. But yalo nana tan fango if patient to educate about their own diagnosis. Yalon fa mun sasa la bela. But kamuta comme nyamato be mu nyamato di dro ñi nyamata. different different conditions level. You have like those they have severe depression, they'll be bipolarity, they'll be schizophrenic so long. You know, so it uniform mang ilong mung sasa la bantala. You know, as long as it'll be coming ko nyama tol land. Yeah. So 4 differences all the wala fenke galia ya long ko nying kuran na banyin. With time hanna tara amari from inquire ala mol, you know, family, you know, like somebody might be there. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry guys. No camera fella thank you. Let me just set it up.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Manneh.
Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah. Go on, Lamin.
Yeah. So anyone from family, you know, ni family you know educator about mental health, because patients all you know will like a time can you ni educate about how to manage mental health patients. Yeah. So wo fongo da mabe you know ma ko la bakele. But ni nata nanje wol do te in place. You know, bukola kom yamol be juruma nyokan. So ika borol dila dorong. This is how it appeared to me. You know, yamol juruma nyoka ika borol dila with time dro yajo coming ning akamtale no manding, and then let the individual go. Then you have kata borol sante. You know, so even like in the management system, putting systems in place, you know, ni nothing like recovery journey la. Yajel, the stages they go through, you know, will be lakta jele. Na hani borol la. You know, borol from, you know, it all come in use, you know, like all time borol la. The new generation medications, you know, is not available. But if you have conversation with the staff, you know, most of them are like donated. Come in charity fan call me for the mental health somebody, not the government.
No.
The government commitment to mental health is very, very minimal.
Zero.
You know, almost next to none.
Yeah.
So like it all if a mental health promote la nyadile to make money from the, you know, charitable organizations like the WHO. If a meeting all hold lale you know, like they borrow policies minuli alonko they non-existent in the Gambia. You know, like Nina and staff, so they educated, they'll tell you about, you know, like you know, maintaining privacy, confidentiality, you know, patient's dignity, but none of this existing. You know, like simple things mini alonko nyanta keke in place from ila mole nanang, let's say nata ila mojibe wante konto nata enang. For example, wobe silo kena balto, you know, after coming anala mo from any room so to me alonko coming like ibe sila jele, you know, whereby they have their own privacy to even have like discussions, a way that should be created. Near the moral natinang, they have no place to even like stay away, whereby they give them this privacy. But ite natinang ala mole domoro nati and then abalandila luo tema jele. Then you don't limbo to eat.
Yeah.
So in that more from jibe mol be na kuriteng and the like. So you know, it's so management system, like things to put in place. What is lacking? That's why uncle like they have a long way to go. You know, so in that I think like none other, especially things like mental health letting, you know, government yenta trial, you know, like they make collaboration. Gambian or minimum bandate. Jamal BJ they reach out even like not recommend like association or learning and the like, you know, ikamol ka try like a mall scout, minimum outside thing. Like they create links, you know, people go share their ideas. Plus me for them BJ ideal thing and the like. You know, you're not careful, the staff will shy away from you. You know, but that's all down to like confidence in your own practice.
Exactly.
And then like, you know, so any mentality financial like you go there, they don't know what your motive is, you know, they're a bit skeptical. You know, so maybe Ninke Bala Molten Alonko, you know, like they're aware they, you know, they've done it all. Well, they'll chat to you like openly. You know, so I think they need that relationship to build as well, you know, to move forward. It will mental long in anywhere else for Gambia.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Bittaye. Mr. Manneh, you know, Gambia is by far the country with the least pay of mental health staff in the sub-region. We don't have any psychiatric doctor in the Gambia, mostly to Cuba, no lomiti, the latest statistics in Minnesota.
Dr. Kilim Bijele, Dr. Jan, but he's not a fully trained psychiatrist. I'm not a training baby, but I psychiatrist. Dr.
Okay.
Dr. Jan,
yes, capacity mantaraje and minimum amount of money so the government can create the Radio Gambias and all those things, and people talk about mental health and the system will integrate and all that. So government can do a lot. There's no excuse. The level there's no excuse for that. The community mental health team. You deal with them at the polyclinic, What is their morale? How are they? Because now every 3 months, because service are only available at the capital and combo areas in the world. So what about the rural areas? What about all the people there, the mental health people, many along sexual abuse, mood disorder, infantile sort of. How is the situation, with the community mental health, you working with them,
community mental health team, BJL still, but they are based at, in office-based CMLE, although they do frequent visits to and from Tanga, but community cover nationwide. Work at alone before, but imam mobile anymore. By mobile, I mean, ibikata, ila trek anymore to visit people with mental health problems. Madam nimina dindia ya kalamta many years ago kabring leprosy be garawring aning TB MRC ka nying motolo arrange nun kata everywhere in the country kabanko be cover ya register so ya register so ya register so nying kuran be momola. It's that kind of logistics inyantole build into systems like Bittaye coming for tenting. But coming back to government responsibility, the government here set up the National Drug Law Enforcement Body. But wala doko kamo kanyapi mo kang abe drug wa for la wala abe drug sabola ka samba ka samba through the legal system. I don't think that's a long-term solution. So mimu solution not wrong. A body like that needs to come down. Yela thinking, yela mentality, yela work, shift from legal focus, a shift to community-based focus. Community markway to deal with mental health issues arising from a wide range of factors. One area. And the other thing for a drug like tramadol, tramadol usually for pain relief, aning cocodamol, aning kudinol. They are so widely abused, in West Africa, and in the Gambia, tramadol abuse became in jail, it happen in a scale which is, beyond understanding. Why? Because Molman Sovekika understand fully well the impact tramadol use in the country. For example, Abeminke funding kel. Nigeria, a study it was a shocking revelation. So la medicines action jibe ye pharmacy jibe ka operate nyaming ila access to borol e manyana borol waf la mini kotota etc. but in it legislation la ka wol dolu sambanam banko kan. But I don't think mansakunda la mirero ka tambi wala ntenga lo minala 4 years ago ndolunga about 50 members of parliament, National Assembly invite to a 3-day basic mental health Pruya understand. And in a basic mental health Pruya jibe from a patient's perspective. From a carer perspective. So that nita da suhon. Ise mi fodung in 1964 Act, New Lunatic Act. But they were all shocked. Not even one of them. There was a legislation called the Mental Health Detention Act, Lunatic Act, 1964. Not even one of them. So for 3 days, we were very lucky. But we were finding incentive in about 40 to 50 members of parliament. So this shows how low, when it comes to morale and understanding of mental health issues in the Gambia, this goes to show how low in the pecking order abe amantra bottom fountain bottom ye do mala from the world so yaja so this is why ntol nyanda jiberkela mansakunda nyanda jiberkela I reform ke I mental health I be reform mental health yemi for earlier on ala best instrument mu ya localize ya samba primary health care so that ni moy physical health care so yala ka fele ngata no skunda wala ngata na health center yoni moy mental health problem fanan so do astano health center do ya trial over the last 12 months kata 24 months because nose jama trained meaning through a training element mental health studies bijel so nose jama be health centers to signing a mental health background a dolonjel so it's a matter of community members can you health centers you'll access near mental health problems so but the bigger picture looking at bigger picture when it comes to interventions more se mean sambanano mobe for example ntol yala nga fole na last program ntol nga lang sotole at block and the reason why after drug and alcohol treatment center sotola block is for two reasons really a amantra banko kang at all so banko need something like that near kamobe park tanka irrespective of ila diagnosis fente tanka ni mulla school kono temala anu fente tanka fana ni bodo tanka ko ka say suwo kono fente ni suwo kono temala in terms of mental health care for example nimo is presenting with drug induced psychosis and mo be along ko drugs lo mala primary issue woman yaman necessary pour yo samba tanka bari jaral dulado tije mimbe mulla suwo kono nin tanka tem yoni be tanka fana yebula iko essay ye jaral u fenti je fana ese fonyondi no damin kajibe really foi jara tale foi manjara jani ese suwo wolom rehab services tije so by ko there are so many gaps but mansakunda need to understand alko these are gaps physical gaps many alonko they need to be incorporated into a healthcare service that is accessible that is deliverable and in me alonko community members here alone ako work jami so this is why primary mental health very logistically nicely positioned puruka more mental health issues will address
thank you sir.
Ndola block project just briefly block project ndola after minna momo mental fenko so drug and alcohol issues ni rifananje before ye rifananje ibinala le jibe ya jibe fujje mu feneti mimbe tela needs nyol jaral ni satisfied ni tata yena ko take jibe say the near contract sign ni be dunana momo be portfolio le soto wo portfolio about if only by explain clearly in life it lafta munel ni na jan treatment la fanan ilafta moli treat nyadi nta fala treatment center fanan ba fala from community center andu be mobe to kill community members lel manda fala moy patient ngalon ko mobe problem na soto bon tol min bebe do ko la wudlato mbe dignity and respect le dila nyola ngafu mobe ko we are all part of the community establishment yung community members min bijan so ni nata ye portfolio ya start ka develop ni tata ni lecture mbe fonkolu diamolu como ko group discussions mbe kala center nyintole every day group discussion be sotola about alcohol group discussion be sotola about depression psychosis etc so that every discussion itata daming ibe kaito sotola ka dunila portfolio kono ko itata jel so ibe mbe mol fanan treat la mbe assess la before treatment ye treat using the kind of treatment facilities mini bija because ni mobe dolomi wala sanji jama na ya stop bb ikala ko drone tay fanfa ni be dolomi come back ni ya stop immediately even medical impulse to drone for some people akifale immediately so it a severe withdrawal from alcohol and potentially it can lead to death so sanji nimbe treat la will use como ko treatments mimpi jandron combined with psychological support. That is psychosocial support, research-wise, has proved it's one of the best long-term solution to helping people with alcohol and drug-related mental health issues. So both of them put into ila portfolios. Then near treatment bank, before a treatment bank, iba fulanya loko for itela life aim. You have to say back to school to learn maths and English pour skills or o ni bula ila tatala ining fenko motor mechanic le do ko okay so mba abe identify la ni motor mechanic o tofoni nga wul fanam nyin tradesmen min bebe je ma fon la nge bela name sulta nga foy ko na Musa Musa bulala in 2 weeks time laftale na nata akala after motor mechanics la laftale ye Musa ta ya train motor mechanics la in the next 3 years. But in the meantime, we move for a microfinance link so that ni more bota treatment center they can have something to be preoccupied with because otherwise ni more bula after treatment not at a drone among things to me be preoccupied with me not drone. There is always a good chance boredom will set in and they'll go back to square one again. So long term wise, what am to plant?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Manneh. Thank you. I think ECAMINFO is important because I think the social model of mental health, me along combining community link lamba integrate la, then focus only on the medical model that mark me along, we are not even doing sufficient for it. But it's so sad that tells, we can do a lot, not on a good political will, sort of mean that the new call address that because if you can do this with your charity, and you have all these ideas, what about the whole body of government? Me, along Allah, young people are sleeping out of their the net, because unemployment is gradually increasing due to alcohol and drug abuse, mainly cannabis, liver diseases, MIM4. Sister soul like a photo, mom soul like a photo, and all those things. No wonder communicable diseases like hepatitis and all spreading all over the place. Liver issues and all those things. Me along can be happening. So full government close is a ticking time bomb. You are just virtually killing your future generation, whether knowingly or unknowingly. But I think this cannot be knowingly. Government need to know. There's no excuse for that. They need to know. Nima no new program or what is the whole issue. Funding killing the power canina. Puru mimbe affect. It all the theater. You turn the government because things are doing virtually nothing. Can you maybe thing. Those are things many along, in a farm Monterella, when the funding kill be fala, be back wave. Just imagine funding Jamale mental health, so the funding Jamale jelle back way, wallet. What? Where does that leave our country?
Exactly.
So these are issues. Lamin, coming back to you in Tanka, if there are any other program, because young mental health with some institutions, many are local, they provide some kind of gardening to kind of small programs, many are local, what we were talking about, like the social model, doing the system not only kaboro only dealer all the time, be fadila jana, be borila jana, be la atai te demori dealer, be police la jana.
You come and getting is like coming like part of their recovery journey.
Yes.
So like occupational therapists, coming coming uncle coming for janteng, in that and coming rehab nila fenkol back end of their recovery, but like ni nata nam fengoteng yajibe, you look at not a government is serious about mental health. You're looking at the first thing is like early intervention. More mental health develop kandam, do you have like that support for them, recognizing it in the early stages to deal with it? You have a way higher chances of like controlling the illness. But yabla for more tada fa anyabe madasa yena na samba tanka. So after the war meta society come from one of our meta qualkala. But like the initial stages, like they try to recognize it and then help the people. You have like greater chances of recovery. So Nina and Tanka coming for like gardening and the like. prime example, you know, birin tata nunje, ngataron ye gadi no soto nunje, it was in use, but the time I was there, it wasn't in use. Yeah, so after nataran je fango, you know, ba farro je ka je farfara tang. Loki nataran nuning Hollande musundingo do natanan wo natanan coming jibero la nunje ten, like visiting the place, you know, to see about mental health in the Gambia. Because afana be feel on kono jele in Holland, you know, I will explain here, you know, so he came to see. So nabo discussion wala je aja ten kom banana du killing wala bije akonye ko what's this, the patients use this ngonde maluta la fango, you know, maluta la ka fire ko, no, it's not been in use, you know. Yeah, so because you banana du killing tarajete, why they not using this as a gardening, you know. You know, that's what they used to use it for, you know, that's what it's been used for. So I think like they just come into like revamp the place again and then work on it again. Yeah. So because maluta like afa coming like exactly in form mantra use content coming kaka musol la garden what it, you know, ye musol soto jele from min ya lon ko, you know, like talking to them ne musun dingo do fengeta, you know, atara fanang ha comme abije jara rola, you know. Den na be ka chala je afon ya admita ko nyako mi kanyu min kenata income ma koy bakale kana kasi kan kacandita, you know, kalo mun na problem on. Yeah, akonya koy kaje income ma koy bakale, you know, ikanyu min kete. Yeah, so ngatan da afon tara fon interest na garden in yinto andi la kon fon wa ka ajibe natara nyin garden no nyin is put in full use, you know, is all can jele yata ya bitikin dingo soto jele tay, you know, which is used by, you know, somebody else. I think is private owned, you know. Man ita bitiko lola jetem fon like mi ya lon ko patient ol minul be recover kante ikana ikatara wafro kala bitiko nyinto tay mi ya lon ko mobe taraje, you know, guiding them. So you still like kind of introducing them back into the community.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, ika fenkol ni la mentangol ni la fengol ten ni fengol kanana ike wafudu hanna tara fengol me wafitem fengol that can be used for fengol la balwo jeten.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So all those also like little steps ni nata nante yela otil soto jele, you know, but itata oti rumolto in traditional fengol le bijeten, you know, like tantangol bijele ten nim fengol bijeten ni sita ten no you know ngaji beten. So like I just remain muted, you know. What am I going to say here to you, you know, like because engage the thing, you know, yeah, it's sometimes a bit hard, you know, coming like top you know, top people will tell me well, you know, they've been through the past, you know, like well because the patients were my focus, you know, and if I get when you go hey Lamin mol, you know, we continue to look how by Laban Sita, you know, like they come. So like they needed that. Engaging them, they needed it badly. You know, but like
mela diamo kundu Lamin ndola molu up to before COVID yena namol kada tankale every day Monday to Friday ye 3 patients bondije ye samba na garden o mimbe burfoot na garden of musol mi ye doko keje last year and in 2018 ye kodo mimbe put together tambita over $20,000 isla so bayna ko o garden of lafta kitchen le kelaje isaje ni mol nata ka use ise minka falling garden or ala vegetables isa use ka tabiro keje ye domoro keje patients min fadambe living rough in the community isinaje and you know ye stage ye kuje ye domoro keje etc wolum na long term plant but gardening jang hani UK jam fango its own research wise ko gardening kamola mental well-being aka aficiandaya katun penke Cumbria, there's a program called Growing Well. Wolfana gardening mental health issues, you will connect. So gardening fruit akamin grow, ika will domo, ika do waf. So ika reinvest into, you know, dulani na budget. So lastly, in that meeting doto in Trieste in Italy, there was a guy from Malaysia mental health institution o mimbo ko tanka ye fansun furo le soto andum patients le kam buro jan ye patients ol karandi e kam buro jan nyami so e bayla ko nim buro ka jandi dame muna konko le be tarla wo
No, definitely.
Konko de tarlaje. So a place like Tanka Tanka is a local furo from the dano like tapala padada. And tapala pa womburo le diata Ebrima dan sen food.
Yeah, so because it's all therapeutic, yeah.
Savaging goal like you but I'm getting for Jara Jimola. Don't press Tapala. So that's true. No, sir, really, you know, Ying is sad. It's a sad comment for us as a people.
It is.
You know, these things are not expensive. You know, government na motor killing. You know, the fleet of motor mean the government millions of millions of motor killing. One motor killing can do a lot for whole range of people. You know, so you know, definitely you cannot take this burden. Yeah, la more can order than the government because government, you know, because mean can use other things like it comes from us, including one Yamaton. You know, then Yamato that is sang, not that attire sang. Will be a wokodo like a generate government kokodo letter ya hold and misuse them. You know, so amanka ko mo leti mini alon ko na farman tarela, these people come here for they can be very productive. Modoli ke diagnose ko a mood disorder sort of no, what the abuse sort of a very sexual abusive, a relationship abuse that man sort of you know, then you see for create will be empower and there's a kodo sort of a offense sort of and like what Mobe is doing. They drug abuse mean for you know not only had mental health but man in the system of you know they abuse antibiotic to the extent that what a government from cost mean for la family yalong ko among ko ni na ta sasa offending by borrow timpebulo kon na man ta oboro fang for mari because use ni afenge so that cost a lot because don't look at borrow the lan ka borrow base tan ne yalo. You know, so you know, but now the psychotropic medicine, the the mental health because now the any local community linked, you know, quality currently quality sometimes and all. Anyway, some NGOs are doing that. The psychotropic medicine or whatever, I don't know what it is, you know. You know. So because because some of the broadly because of government and lack of education, moleka ni moila moitai woli saba ni mental health issues soto ikojilo leama the supernatural forces witchcraft wala ya you know the moral weaknesses loma na amount strong you know and all those things but that's and you know. So where sabu mental health mo jama kata nani institution soto mi ya lonko dobi je ka person di pale for a concussion so dobi je is only rape dobi je call mu me peke because there's no legislation to cover this. Virtually we just dumping our people into a dumping site that you know and no wonder we are producing more traditional healers in our mental health system than trained doctors and nurses and all those things, you know. Go ahead, sir.
But you'll be shocked though, Ebrima. And traditional healers nga mo fula bele visit. Do be busurale ni Brikama. Traditional healers. You'll be shocked ni tata woldolto because you know ni amo systematic abuse. What about water? You know, ikamol chain. Ikamol chain ite da samaleke la bungo min fankono da sorondantala. You know. So ni osifa encourage. All those saying Ministry of Health. Yajelo ko abuse rampant bata wo area tole so nin traditional healers ila care ya try le kaning Ministry of Health la care amalgamate to some extent wala nyindi ka for traditional healers e ko look mambala moy na jambo na nata jang albe yam fala nyela alkala nyimboro fanan diala ayata yo nyimboro min fanan fo nyi psychotropic fenke Bittaye folenu yalo mental health like any other health. Older generation borol bijele, newer generation borol bije. Difference ba min katara wala. Older generation borol do bije ni mol kawo mimbake ala kujamale sabu na ala side effects sul siya bata. Yo a drug like chlorpromazine, boy kawo usually in the Gambia hanisai. And no old drug yo dada kabir in 1959. Would you believe it? You know, chlorpromazine manufactured in 1959 abuka used in the UK jang anymore. Newer generation psychotropics, what the side effects are less. I think therapeutic wise, what the response to more mental treatment, what the better than in terms of outcome, treatment outcomes. Newer generation medication or the better than older generation. But clozapine, for example, is a very, very good newer generation medication. But I tell you, need blood monitoring, etc., etc. And it's one of the most expensive drugs. You know, olanzapine, you know, abilify. They are new generation drugs, but it's certain. Imanta Gambia market le found at all. New older generation no lebije haloperidol new only used back in the Gambia. Aning
clopixel,
chlorpromazine and clopixel. Clopixel kana a tablet ma kana ala injection ma kana. But the side effects are ridiculously bad. All side effects all. Ila immediate, medium, and long-term side effects. Aka model formula. Energy levels aka talale ibika tamano properly nima anti side effect medication ming aka all kinds of functional physical mobility problems they deal so I'm Ebrima
yes go on Lamin, go on Bittaye.
You know, coming like you're talking of the side effects there, you know, because like they use like chlorpromazine thing. In Gambia, it's like you have no coming like ala ancient name is Lagatil, you know.
It's the same name.
You know, exactly. So because then like ala Lagatil no thing, so not an tatanun what time of you know, but research nunje, you know, Lagatil have a dealer drum, but the side effects in the funky jolemfara.
No. What drug? Well, I stop jam.
The side effects. You know, how like the muscle stiffness, you know, it's almost like almost paralytic. You know, but his answer was like, you know, this was the answer I got, you know. So well, you know, I mean,
yes, sad situation, Lamin, and this is why we need to do this more and more, so that it's awareness create, you know, because this is our brothers, you know, our sisters, our families, our dad, our sisters' wives, our sisters' husbands, our husbands' wives, our brothers' wives, all over the place. Many are local in a life, the West Camp. And likely they are going to die because, you know, the people with mental health issues in the Gambia are twice more likely to die earlier, prematurely than the ordinary people. And in all the, you know, all the encompassing, you know, the negative sides, you know, mental health on our resources, on our youths, on our sisters, on our brothers is too much. And sadly, the government organizations, maybe the businesses, because mental health, anything, no support, no nothing. You know, a grant loan from outside, you know, you know, we are talking about our sovereignty. When all this help, you know, na bread basket be more level, we will not talk about sovereignty, or we will not about external forces, you know, meddling into our issues, because virtually wale kan samba woyano ndola molbe motoborendi kensa wala nimpati, you know, and you know more than time people should shy away from politics. We are political. Wale ka be decide in that Gambia, including new mental health issue, including community for the women. You know, we are going to come and discuss about youths and new maternal deaths, maybe care, because we be funding muso like all the mal affect. But after the time of Banta, mbe albulala prali ala last words, okay? You know, we will schedule this again, Nal Frita, you know, so that, you know, we are going to talk about this and we will see how we can link with maybe local radios, so that it is a new prompt up now. Government market funding is a ila awareness puritana fall into these traps for now. It's a okay, and it's a local sort of grooming bekang, a monkey ko alala laikang, a monkey ko yedo kule. amanke ko futale, amanke ko bualo mu, amanke ko jina lo mini wole bentan, all those things is all not true. It's all about mental health. Mimbe Gambia, wale kamoli soto jang, is just people are addressing it better than us. Tolbao man solution sotala, and we are going to create a meaning for all these problems mimbe happening. Yes, I'll go and say hi to you, our listeners, and a final word for today.
Okay, ala baraka bake lamurla ninjibir lalu. But in terms of ntol semine keno, we need to engage with young people. Nim funding kel kasin kacha nkanyin kacha sifal sot. Nita mental health promotion okela banko bekang from katong fo koina. So nanta fanang a try na system ol benyame nga focus back on psychosocial interventions rather than medication. Yo nga IOM, International Organization for Migration, abe makoyro la lebari ala makoyro fana futa bake banku dingol kam makoyro mi alon ka bitala banku dingol kande directly eko wasfana nyanda ifana dandelal pour ye dadum fe nyin kol kono bari funding kel fana ni talengi and skill wala nyindi funding ke o funding ke ka try e mecho so because o mecho le be balundi la o mecho le be kela sama alfat yo the other thing fana mo mansakunda nyantala employment fenko ayanta business plan sotola specifically pour funding kelo mimba tinala as a discouraged from going abroad illegally wala minti ko ya try every region in the Gambia factory factory be lorinda oda a massive housing association soto mi alonko isa fo funding kele kono fala be janane salfla naye la jang eta do ko lañu factory ñim bungo jo after 10-15 years bungo ketati laftale futu jang etu jang e kata dula bari tele dunia balu kay abe sonia la jannatu than anywhere else lafta what kind of message and kind of encouragement nyanta wala di la funding kele pour ifanana sama ikana bata.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Bittaye, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Jibiral Tentula, for taking their time coming to watch the program. Na message vitala minka wolong funding chelnyin, I think mansanyanta try like consider for like try and create like job opportunities because nenyin beje, mostly funding chelbe engage like ika timeless or block, wala tine katara, like campel bekelata, continuously. But you need grow up a past the stage like, because you become responsible, you engage into other things. But because like they have nothing to do, well neka time sort of a group nyoka, if corner all the time continuously, which is not good for the mental health. You cool better. And then ni nata na wo fa mankela men issue but like comme Salifu mo do list nu ka fo comme la nyin tramadol abuse tay nyim bor kesol tay Nimbor Kesol now is the main problem in the Gambia. Nana at a mental health letter. And I come in Fenke coming skunk tank. Skunk is too expensive for them. Like skunk tank is too expensive for them to get their hands on that. And not another Gambia tank, But like Nimbor Kesol tank. And then what they do, they have coffee in it. These are like sedative. Yela coffee mi wanyama pura kane sinondi. So wol better ranyo counter le kun konole so ikajele katara kulle ke kam program le problem balkete asomo ka fante famo kala muta fango dol ba fly ay boy wodle ngoy rimbang wala boy jana ikaje in konte famo fan kala muta jana so I mean this is messing up the society because myself ka fenke ni nata na nyin local nyama sabolte wol metala in the Gambia but like we never had issues with them.
Yeah.
But why all of a sudden, we have this rapid growth, in the mental health because of this is the issue. Like in tramadol abuse all time, borkesa mingol janata, ya borokesol min janata, ya coffee minka walk away counteract, yena nyamo sabo working again, and then you do this continuously, so it's gonna affect your mental health. That's no joke. So you should they have to understand this. And then the other thing is coming like, okay, it's about a family economy alonko, mental health issues is common there. It's in your family background. Ni nata doing like substance misuse, so you more likely you have a higher chances of developing mental health issues. Wofanang is evident. And the other thing like ni nata and trauma thing, you know, Gambia muke engage, muka personal engage. To know they are coming EBA case do report nunje, na maybe ni mari trauma latin na ni rape cases or and the like. Ema mommy engage, ibo wala problem wala na nyadil.
No.
Yeah, so wo mari ni wo bitala la kunga itara fenkere ya fo new fenkere. But nobody try to find out to come that close. Numpuru mo na problem or reveal if I trust le. But ni ka muda coming ko nyama to doron no. Abekele te nyama to doron te, you know, wo be confidence to la nyadile pra ni esi ka fon fo e fon. So I think na mol fana, you know, like na perception of nyama to nyanta wol fana fale na nga trying engage, you know. So nte wole so to come be me fala mole for now, you know, mbe mo be tentula, you know, for your time. Kanana nka program on jibe anita fana nga baraka baka, you know, for hosting this and all those people in the background, you know, to make this program possible.
Yeah, Mr. Bittaye, thank you so much. Jannim bita lamba vole tujere manke village oti mbita kundalom de atele work sign capital olon jeti. You know, so don't call me again, you know. So all of us proud, and Mr. Manneh, as always, you know, coming up, we have Abubakar Janneh, my own or my two uncles, and Lamin Janneh, the technicians, you know, but I have to say, you know, the uncle to me being Kuokono, but awareness, you know, as we always say, ibe found in Kala, let's say la banco, not ila banco, and the Ning is one of them because people are dying prematurely. Prematurely, you know, so any topic me raise young at a life, let's say. You know, and the life safe for what is paramount for Bankula development. Banko mi alonko, you know, ala engine of growth mu funding keleti. Sila new funding kel be folka into this ditch. You know, womu kule di alonko nomu cost la woti, yini long quote nyanta mi discuss la. What we need now being a voice tang amplify so that in say Resoland government we need a strong leadership me along a vision sort of me along the difficult decisions as a mold be markoi me along on bonding situation and the whole purpose of the program is to create awareness, you know, in our community so that, you know, the abuses mean Bittaye, you know, the children roaming in the street and all those things, you know. I'm going to but we will leave that until next time. All of the epilepsy, you know, and then because it's rampant in the Gambia and in developing mental health issues or people are abandoned because of it. You know, we will discuss that.
Mental health issue. In the Gambia, treated as mental health, but I physical health issue.
Exactly. So we will discuss that also, and many other issues. The forensic patients, many along Lamin neka this FM koke, ibe prison or kono ibe sambahani tanka. You know, there's a lot of things me along we need to know. So then say empathy so. Near moja be tama kansilo kans, you know, along ko mole badi ngomo amun kom badi ngolom along ka mun mole mi along bete be kendere nyami mi probably kununga be motoli bori ndekane koite kane nya kasa la just think about, you know, mun situation I think they announce minkeno and once again the more be Salifu la charity bao, you know, in a support ke ka monitoring ke any evaluation and ka monitor ke integrate ila satel kona ka fenko ke such things lafta walla so that businesses min bijang and fenko based awareness de ko nyini manke multi min ya lon ke dankatale amanke ko bua ko walla ni mole seleta nyokan nka wol min be for is nonsense, you know. Disability mental health disability that me ya lon ka mobile affect kuwa katanya minike baya tafana mbake ka dementia soto wana is part of mental health. So you know wale asabu nata jambo once again na listeners will be da in extending the arms of appreciation. Mbalbe thankla once again, you know, for coming to and listening to this great program. Pluralism na program onyinsia so that as a futano mo jamala might be nenga mo killing safe no then ngapen achieve le. Once again balbe tentulamba jaira including the technician, including the owner Lamin Janneh and Mr. of Gunjur Online TV and na Ango man the technician Abubakar Janneh. Allah baraka baba ke once again be mo be tentulambe kontona alaman tiloto alama beso ne alambulo. Once again Allah baraka. Thank you.
This is called Gaina.